as we've had more conversations with real estate agents, it's interesting to see how social media and relationship and referral marketing kind of go together. And so, in this conversation with Miss Mel, Miss Candy, and Kate, they talk about how they use social media to keep the credibility that their grandmother placed with them 30 years ago whenever she started a real estate career. And so it's a great conversation about how to use those things to build your awareness up, that you've been here for a long time and you're going to carry the torch forward through generations of real estate. And so check out this marketing conversation. It's unique, and I think you really enjoy the value that you'll get from it. There's different ways of marketing real estate, right? People market through Zillow, or they market through making cold calls or social media. There's also just the networking and the community building aspect of it. And so I think I know the answer to the question, but like, what is y'all's primary focus on how y'all generate business between the three of you?
Kate, you want to take that? You want to start us off?
Sure. Excuse me. Obviously, social media is a big.
I was wondering if that was going to be what you were
Yeah.
going to say.
Huh.
You made Jared's day.
Social media is a big way that we market ourselves.
Who manages social media in y'all's team?
Candy and I do it between the two of
Okay,
us.
cool.
You
Yeah.
do an awesome job.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Candy is a graphic designer by trade. I graduated in
know that.
advertising.
Oh, very good.
Although when I was in advertising, all of that's antiquated. Social media wasn't around. So
Sure,
we
yeah.
had to kind of pivot and learn through the years. So obviously social media is a big way that we promote ourselves, but I wouldn't say that that's how people necessarily find us. I think our referral business, I think working hard for our clients is the best marketing tool for us moving forward,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
that's where your referrals come in. But yes, social media is a big deal. And Candy and Melody and my grandmother actually started doing videos way back in the day before
Videos
videos were a
That's
thing.
awesome.
I mean, they can pull out the archives.
All right,
The
we need
videos
to
are
do
hilarious.
that.
That
Let's
is
start-
But truly-
let's start dripping those. I want a whole campaign.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
great
start
to
sending.
keep that stuff because you can
I would-
always
we
refer
have
back
them.
to it.
It's amazing.
One of the people we do a lot of business with, she's actually usually co-hosts this with me, Courtney. She will go back and like talk about how the videos and the things that she used then are now applicable now, and she'll use that as a way to prove like the marketing. The real estate cycle always comes back around. Like,
Correct.
these things that happened in the 80s and 90s still are applying today, just in a different way.
Yes,
Exactly.
very true.
So it's cool to have that.
And actually, the Morse Team Minute is something that the videos kind of morphed into. So every week, every Wednesday, we would do a Morse Team Minute, and it was just a minute long. And every week, we would have a different topic, whether it was educational or a giveaway or just something silly about us. And it's funny because Mom has brought this up before. It's amazing how many people will stop you in the grocery store and they're like, "We saw the Morse Team Minute," and you're like, "You follow us? Like, we didn't even know."
Even if they don't like it,
Even-
they'll go to the
exactly.
page, yeah.
And they'll tell you, they'll stop you and tell you, "We saw your Morse Team Minute," and we're like, "We had no idea you knew who we were." Like,
Yeah.
what? And it's pretty incredible how far it gets you for a little 1 minute video that, some oftentimes on the whim we're like, "What are we going to talk about this week?"
That's how
but
people interact today.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
how many people do you run into and you're like, I've never met you, but I know you and your children.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's weird.
It
and it's
is.
uncomfortable and beautiful all at the same time. But
Yes.
I just look at social media as that necessary evil
Absolutely.
to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Even if you are referral based, which we are, because we focus on building relationships. That's what's important to us.
Yeah.
Our purpose is the greatest amount of impact that we can have in our community. You do that with your one-on-ones. But if you're not on social media staying relevant,
Right.
somebody else is. So
Exactly.
you have to be there, even though, when it's like, it's content day.
Yeah.
I value it enough that I'm like, all right, let's put this lipstick on and make it
Yeah.
happen.
That's
Exactly.
right. That's right. We do love that. I would say, I marketing is something that I've always loved, and it does take a lot of time these days if you're doing it yourself. But it's also, when the product is completed and you do get some great feedback from it, even if you don't, it's like it's still fun that you've done it, and it's just I love it.
Yeah, and I think from the referral standpoint too, like even though you might have a longstanding reputation in the community, and if you don't have that ability for them to come check on you and see who you are and what you're doing and make sure that you still are relevant, you miss out on something to the person who may be marketing on social media a little bit stronger than you are. At least that's my opinion of it. And I don't want us to ever be to the point where somebody looks at us and says, I went to this other person because y'all have Y'all post more on social. They post more than you do because
There's no way they're posting
Nobody
more
posts.
than we have.
It's won't be a problem for y'all.
Like, oh my gosh, we only have 50 videos in the queue. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
More content.
Yeah. But I want to talk too about this too, because I know social media. Like I had a feeling y'all were going to say that, but I thought y'all would also lean heavily on giving back to your community.
Yes.
And knowing that it's not just, like for me, I can say give back to my community, but it's not a community I've been a part of for more than 8 years, right? Like y'all were giving back to the community that y'all family was established on, and like me and Miss Mel went on a retreat to Pastor Sheehan, and like I didn't know you super well at that point, right? I mean, I've seen you around church.
Now.
No, we talked a lot of dirty laundry and personal things at that retreat. But like, I mean, the fact that y'all are doing that means a lot, right? People, and I talk about this all the time too, and I want to hear y'all's opinions. When you spend time with people who share common values with you, there's generally enough business to take care of you and support your goals by spending time with people that you love and want to spend time with, right? You don't have to go to the other church or the other side of town necessarily. If you can build relationships within your intimate community, you know that the 30, 40, 50 people you network with are going to have about 30 or 40 friends that they're friends with that all share the same values that you do. So how does that play into y'all's mindset with marketing?
I'm going to tell you that is exactly how we want our business to grow, because we've had an opportunity. We do meet. We do a little. We haven't planned it this year, but we do a little retreat twice a year. Summer is usually away for a couple of days. January is sort of a stay home, do retreat, but we get away and we plan and we think and we pray and we kind of figure out how we're going to grow our business. And there are many things that we've considered, but then said that is just not us.
Mm-hmm.
Cold call would be one of them. You know, we just, that is just not what we want to do to grow our business. It is not a knock on cold calling. I know people are highly successful and that is what they love to do, but that's not how we want to grow our business. So you have to constantly think about how to be very authentic in your growth and not just go into another church to see where you can drum up, putting yourself out of your lane because there's plenty of people in your lane. And when you give, I think about Candy's work with the realtor just associations, an incredible amount of time she spends volunteering in there. I'm more kind of church. I'm sit very in a blessed way on the SSA advisory board. I tend to go back to education and things that I did before I was a realtor. Kate has done many things, but right now she's got two
I'm like, I'm not on many boards right now.
Hey, look, there's enough of bonded tired
Yes.
mothers to fill your cup.
Exactly.
You say that, but you were late for a birthday party the other day because you were bringing a meal to a new mom or somebody.
Well,
so
you've got your
it's-
ministries, yeah.
it just, that is important to us. But what we love is that it's an authentic way for us to grow.
Yeah.
Not something that just doesn't fit our personality, style, or who we're about.
You make me so happy hearing that because, again, I joined the real estate side of the practice of law only 5 years ago. I have the other, 16 years of business law and just this small section. And from the outside looking in, you saw all of these people, and every class was like this one style of like this hard, marketing and lead gen. And you would watch people get all excited. And of course it's going to work, but it only fit this small percentage of personalities of agents because most agents join because they want relationships with people. And I'm like, is no one spending the time to figure out this is not for everyone? Because every
right.
class that you go to, it's like a Granum style, right? Like you need to have 50 cold calls a day. You need to be purchasing these leads. And I'm like, that is going to work really well for 3 months. And then she's going to burn out. He's going to burn out. He's definitely going to burn out. She's going to quit. Like I could almost point it out just in 5 seconds. And I'm like, why are they not spending the time evaluating who they are as a person so that they're building a sustainable business model, sustainable lead gen. And so we constantly see this ebb and flow. And then the second question comes with, how do y'all market? Y'all are there all the time. Tell me, I just want to do what y'all do. Well, who is your ideal client? It's not going to be the same as our ideal client.
Right.
Again, most of my answers go back to you need to focus on you.
Yes.
After you focus on you, then I can help you. Now, if
Yeah.
you need me to help you focus on you, I can do that too. But I can't just give you these answers because it's going to be for naught.
It's so
Right.
true.
That
oh my
is, you
goodness.
know.
So well
Waste on
said.
your most valuable investment of your time, and you just watch people do it over,
Over and
over and over again.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
You can't figure out who and how you're gonna. You can figure out how you're gonna market to somebody until you know who your ideal client is. I mean, it's the bottom line. You got to know who they are, and y'all might not have like called it that. Like you just said that y'all don't have a process. You'd already proved me you have a process. Y'all meet twice a year, and y'all have retreats, and y'all talk about that. Like that's all part of the system in which y'all's business is able
Right.
to operate. Right? You don't have to have it all written down
And
in
you're
checklist
saying
form.
That ideal client is in my community. They're in my
Yes.
church, or they're
Right.
on my board with me, or they're in education. They're a suffering young mother. I pray for y'all every single day, right? Or there's
Yeah.
someone that's in the real estate industry that needs additional assistance. They're in your circle. They're in your network. You know, like, and trust them. They know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
And you know what their goal is, and you know what problems they have that are between them and their goal, and y'all are able to solve those problems, and you probably talk about it. Or if you're not talking about it, the people that you've already helped are talking about how you solve those problems, so they're attracting people to you guys.
Right.
So you know, a lot of people in business that just have operated the same way, you know, carried forward generations of business, they don't think of it in that way, but you truly do have a process, and you do have an ideal client, and you do have a business that you're operating, because if not, you wouldn't have Kate be able to come in here and be successful and do that. So it's fun to have these conversations to even help people realize that.
That's right.
Too, so.
That's right.
Jared.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Self-discovery today.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I think it was cool to hear y'all's story. I know a lot of people, at least I know who y'all are as individuals, but I was glad I got to hear y'all's story about y'all's business and y'all's family. So thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
Thank
Thank you
today.
for having us.
It's great.
Awesome to be
the
here.
local ladies.
Oh,
This was really fun.
Yes.
Cool.
How was it?
Thank you.
Great. Easy. Y'all make it very easy.
yes. Thank you so
And we